Do you have those really nasty sugar cravings? You can't go throughout a day without eating sweets at least multiple times a day, and it's very frustrating. Well, this is a very common problem in the American population. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the root causes of why you have those sugar cravings, and then the natural approaches you can take to eradicate these excessive sugar cravings. When you consume refined sugars and simple carbohydrates, your blood glucose levels spike rapidly. And then in response, your pancreas releases a large amount of insulin to bring those levels down. This can lead to a sugar crash where your blood sugar drops or you become hypoglycemic. And as a result, your body's going to try and compensate, and so you'll crave another quick source of energy, which are simple sugars. And so over time, this creates a vicious cycle of highs and lows. And so a diet consistently high in sugar and simple carbs can lead to insulin resistance. That creates another problem because this is when your cells become less responsive to insulin. And then as a result, your body needs to produce more and more insulin to manage your blood sugar levels. And this further exacerbates the cycle of cravings, fatigue, and weight gain. So what are the solutions? Well, for most people, here's what I recommend you do. Start your meal with fiber. Now, this is something you have to get used to because most Americans don't do this. But if you start your meal with fiber, say like your lunch and dinner with vegetables, and your breakfast, let's say you're having a protein shake, you're having eggs, whatever it is, take a fiber supplement. Also, eat quality fat and protein with your meals and quality carbs, not simple carbs. Also, if you're prone to sugar cravings, please do not skip meals and do not eat late in the evening. This causes more blood sugar dysregulation, stress hormone imbalance, which leads to sugar cravings. Also, make sure you consume a quality multivitamin that has the methylated B vitamins and chromium and other minerals which help with blood sugar stabilization. Another supplement I recommend a lot to patients is berberine, because berberine is phenomenal in lowering those blood sugar and insulin levels. Now, if you're under stress, your body's releasing a lot of the stress hormone cortisol, and that's your body's role with cortisol is to have this fight or flight response, which includes raising your blood sugar levels to provide immediate energy. So if you have chronically high cortisol levels, that's going to cause your blood sugar levels to be elevated, and that increases your desire for high fat, high sugar, and high carb foods. And this is really kind of a survival mechanism where your brain craves glucose or sugar and fatty foods because they provide an energy source and a temporary boost of the neurotransmitter serotonin, which is that feel-good neurotransmitter. And that makes you feel comfortable, but just for a short period of time. And so the stress-induced craving is a powerful cycle that can be hard for some people to break. So how can you resolve this? Well, make sure you get 30 to 60 minutes of exercise daily. Make sure you get adequate sleep and other stress reduction techniques. And I really like to use cortisol balancing supplements such as ashwagandha extract. You want to boost your serotonin levels with supplements like 5-hydroxytryptophan or saffron extract. If you have inadequate protein intake, this will lead to sugar cravings as well. I talked about the fats as well as the protein, but when you're having quality protein sources, you're going to have better blood sugar stabilization. So for a lot of patients, I have them have, at least small to moderate amounts of protein with their meals. And that in combination with a high fiber consumption and good fats in the diet will lead to preventing those blood sugar spikes. So again, this is one of the reasons why people crave carbs. You really got to avoid, especially in the morning with breakfast, the simple carbohydrates. For a lot of people, eating the oatmeal, having the cereals, that leads to a quick boost in glucose levels and then crashes by mid-morning, and your blood sugar is becoming dysregulated and you crave sugar products. So again, you need to have that balance of protein and healthy fats with a smaller amount of complex carbs to keep you full and keep your blood sugar stable for much longer periods of time. Again, quality protein snacks with your meals, such as cold water fish, such as wild salmon, eggs, nuts and seeds, lean poultry are all great. Now, another common reason we find with patients for sugar cravings is Candida overgrowth. In your gut microbiome, we have a community of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms in your digestive tract. They actually play a significant role in how you feel and what your cravings are. So a type of yeast or fungus known as Candida albicans is a type of yeast that is naturally occurring in the gut. But when you get overgrowth due to a high sugar diet, from chronic stress, from antibiotics, steroid use, this feeds the Candida. Simple carbohydrates feed the Candida. And so when the yeast overgrows in your gut, it can send signals to the brain, which increases your desire for sugary and refined carbohydrates. And that creates a feedback loop where you eat more sugar to feed the Candida, which then causes them to thrive, and then you have even stronger sugar cravings. So addressing this overgrowth of Candida requires dietary changes, and then you may benefit from targeted treatments to restore healthy gut function. So what are the solutions? Well, obviously, restrict your sugar intake. That includes alcohol and all refined carbs, so you're not feeding the Candida. Next, take supplements which destroy excessive yeast, such as oregano, berberine, caprylic acid. These all get the Candida levels down. And then in addition, take a probiotic which crowds out the yeast in the gut. So these are the root causes, really, why people have these strong sugar cravings, and you can get them under control. If you follow the principles I gave you in this video, really within 2 weeks, you can have significant reduction in your sugar cravings. Well, I hope you liked that video. Look for other videos on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to teaching you in the next video.